Alright, so I finally pulled the trigger on this guy. For those that don't know, this is the big Cyberworld Scorponok toy. And in all honesty, I think he's pretty cool. Like, I really do. Um, he's just this big, giant plastic that has a bunch of gimmicks that you can do with him. And that's pretty much all you need. All you need. But yeah, I really like him. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do with him as well. Even like taking off parts of his body and like making them as little vehicles and whatnot for other Cyberverse toys. This Optimus is the only one I have. Let me show those off real quick. Zoop. Shoop. So yeah, taking off part of the tail and like one of the claws and whatnot, you can kind of get this like little Batmobile as vehicle. I think this is pretty cool. Nothing too crazy to write home about, but honestly, I like that. This kind of leaves the Scorpion mode a little incapacitated, but it looks a little bit better in robot mode, because in robot mode you're just missing one arm, and that's okay. But yeah, I think this is pretty cool. But yeah, let's get this guy into robot mode. Zoop. Zoop. And here we have Scorponok in his robot mode, and I think this robot mode is fine. Like, yeah, he's a brick. You can't really move the legs at all, but you still get the standard posability in the arms. At least all that you would want to ask for. And then I have on the side here as well, using a bunch of stuff. It's like you got this little flying mode now with the guns and the sword and part of the tail. And I think this is pretty cool too. But you can do something else with him as well, and that is if you open the chest, you can actually take one of the guns. If I can tap this on. Pegs are a little small. Oh man. Hang on, I'm gonna do this off screen. 1 sec. Zoop. Zoop. There we go. So it's a little tricky to do one-handed, but it's perfectly fine. But yeah, you can peg that on there, and you can have Optimus up top as well, and kind of have him as a giant mech suit. I also put part of the tail on the arm, so now he has this like really long arm. I think it's cool. I really, really do think it's a cool little set, and it's a shame it's kind of been looked over, because I think this is a fun, dumb toy. I really do. And in all honesty, I still think the value proposition is there. Like, if you compare him to a couple modern leaders, such as Urbana Megatron and the last Age of Extinction Optimus, I think the value is there. Like, yeah, he doesn't have the same posability, but he's a big, dumb toy, and I think that's perfectly fine. He even has electronics, and that's cool. That's really cool. But yeah, I really like this toy. What do you guys think about it?